Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm US Jester. My name is Junior. Today, we're just gonna be doing. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a review, more like the McFarlane toys that I bought in the past few weeks, and some that I've pre-ordered. Um, it's not gonna be a really in-depth review because we already know the articulation and all that stuff. So here we go. Let's start off with the Black Lightning. This was an anticipated purchase from Walmart because it's a gold label. But I was just going around my Walmart stores and I found this there, and there's like 4 or 5 copies. It's a 1995 figure, so um, it's a purchase for me. Any McFarlane toys that's $20, $24 range is a purchase for me, especially if it's a character I don't have yet in my collection from his company. So Black Lightning, I don't have this guy yet, and I forgot to pre-order it. So I'm really lucky that I saw it on the shelves. I got introduced to Black Lightning in the Super Friends cartoons way back then. So even though this is not the same costume, I feel like this is a good representation. They updated the model back in, where did I start seeing him again? Like maybe in the DC Crisis, one of the DC Crisis issues. So this is really pretty good. I like the fact that it also has these translucent effects on the arms that already has the lightning in it. Um, it might limit it for some people, but I'm okay with it. This also comes with um, 2 simple hands. Although, of course, it comes with a closed-fisted hands and an open hand. I wish it was both closed-fisted, as you know. I prefer it that way, that at least the figure should at least come with closed-fisted hands and whatever extra ones that they have. But for $20, I don't really mind for what we have. Again, of course, it comes with the card. I'm okay with the fact that the card has a shaven head and this one doesn't. Um, I'm okay with that one. I do wish though that the mask carried on what is shown in the card, where it's slightly bigger on the yellow and translucent, but I'm sure that's a lot would have been a lot more expensive. And I also don't like the fact that it's got a belt in here and the belt in here. So this waistline is probably a reuse. Looks like a reuse of a Batman waistline, and then they slapped on this one. It just feels so um, kind of like something they just slapped on together. See, this one's more streamlined. I would have liked it better if the costume was a little bit more streamlined. That pops up a little bit more. And then this one, Supergirl, from another Target exclusive gold label. Um, uh, During the pre-ordering, it was sold out, but I kept on checking the site, and this one came on, 19.99 again. Purchase for me because it's the first Supergirl. It's classic colors, not necessarily the perfect classic colors, but I love the S symbol over here. Looks good. There's no blemishes as far as I can see. The cape material, thank goodness, it's made out of fabric. It drapes pretty good. The hairstyle looks pretty good as well. Articulation, we all know what it's like. A lot of people were concerned about this one, and it does kind of look kind of like poofy in the pictures, maybe, but in hand, I don't really mind. I mind this more than the poofiness because it's out there. I'm seriously considering cutting it here and here, and maybe um, gluing it closer so that it addresses the poofiness and the hips and the fact that it goes out there. But I feel like it's just gonna mess around with articulating too much articulation. Plus, if I cut it here, I do feel like it will increase the articulation more in the legs. But she can do like this much of a movement, which I feel like might be just enough for the character. Of course, with that long hair, you won't get a lot of neck articulation, which is unfortunate because it's a super character, so she needs to be flying. I do love that this one has the closed-fisted ones. So, and I don't know why. This is looks like one of these bull ankles. Why go back? It's not. It's got some sculpting in it, but it just looks so big on her. You know, compared to the next figure, which would be Static. Which look at those ankles. They're like really thin and nicely sculpted. So, a super character that I don't have, yeah, it's an instant buy for me. So, plus I was lucky to get it at a cheaper price. But like I said, you can't really have her flying up like so. And she comes, I believe, with just the card and the base. As you can see, the legs over here has the flesh tone, and I really do wish the flesh tone colors over here. As you can see from here, there is that boot cut, but it's too high anyway, so I understand why they decided not to color the upper thigh part as flesh, because what's the point? You're not ever going to see it anyway. If the cut had been a little bit lower here, then I can understand, and I might actually just paint that over. So like, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have a cut or anything. I believe the boots are from the Selena Kyle, the Batman carryover. So, but I do love the face in this one. Look at that face. I love that face. I love the hairstyle and all that stuff. Unfortunately, again, with the hair, she tends to have that kind of hunched over, looking forward look. But in the front, I think that looks pretty cool. Nicely proportioned and everything. You know, so that's it for Supergirl. The other one I got from Target, we're gonna go over here, the Midnighter. The Midnighter obviously is not a DC character. It's from Wildstorm, I believe. I'm not sure. That's getting merged into the DC universe. But this is their Batman character, which is the reason why, you know, but that's okay. I mean, I'd love to read more about him. I think he's more like kind of like the more badass version of Batman. No, I didn't really say that right. More like because Batman has rules. I don't know. I don't really read the Wildstorm comics, but from the crossover that I've seen, their character seems more violent than the DC ones, is what I would say. More grittier, you know. So anyway, the design looks good. Obviously, he comes from the Batman design, but I can say that I like him on his own, and I do hope that they make a polo. And obviously, because there's a lot of reuse for the Batman McFarlane stuff, it just basically amplified his Batman-esque copying and all that stuff. But, you know, it does look like Batman. A little bit of that face in. This was also a pre-order from Target, $19.95. Like I said, a lot of reuse using one of the Batman bodies, but you know, it's good enough. Looks just like the Midnighter. And this one comes with, I have all the stuff bagged up, so I need to make sure I get the right one here. So this is the card it comes with, and it comes with some sort of batons, and look at that, closed fists. Finally. $19.95. That's a good value. I mean, even though I'm not familiar with the figure, it's a character I don't have in my McFarlane collection, but it comes with 2 batons and 2 different sets of hands, close-fisted and weapon holding hands. That's the way it should be. $19.95, so that's pretty good for me. The next set of pre-order is Waverider. This is not the Waverider scheme that I would have preferred. I would have preferred, let's see, what is on the card? Let me see. Is this the Waverider card? I believe it is. No, I can't find the Waverider card. The black and yellow color scheme is what I would have preferred, but this guy looks so beefy, like really muscular. And the Waverider that I'm familiar with is more like slim. Um, but this guy just looks like a brick, you know. But yeah, I can live with it. I like the fact that it looks good. I believe, and this is beyond the era of my comic book reading days, but I believe this is supposed to be a future version of a Booster Gold where he assumes the mantle of Waverider. Because was Waverider originally Booster Gold? A future version of Booster Gold, or somebody? No, Waverider was a future version of one of the temporal agents, I think. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's why you see some sort of Booster Gold symbols, carryovers from his character. But it looks pretty cool. I need to get a Booster Gold anyway, and hopefully they'll do characters from that era where you have the Monarch and all that stuff, because we do have Captain Atom now, so that looks pretty cool. I'll have to edit that out. But I do like the face on this guy as well. And then I love this. Look at that. Look at that flame effect on the head. I suppose it could have been more bigger, but you know what? No, I think that's just right, because I feel like this is much more better than how they did Firestorm. So yeah, pretty cool. So that's a good one. I like that one. The value seems okay with this one. Oh, and oh, the accessories. Look at all this stuff. Yeah, geez, this is a 1999 figure. Look at the stuff that it came with. It comes with two hands, two sets of hands. Here's a closed-fisted hands, a pointing hand. Here's another hand over here, splayed hand. It got all these fire effects, which you know, it's all reuse and everything. But 1995 for that, that's pretty good. Waverider, that's a pretty good value. Now here's a 2-pack from Amazon, which originally was, I believe, $40. Yeah, I can't remember. I believe this was $39.95, but then it gave me a discount. It went down to $34 or $32. So that's pretty good. Less than $19 per figure. They're both reuses. And I can understand that this Batman Beyond is supposed to be showing off green kryptonite to combat this future Batman. This is called Justice Lords, but I thought it was like maybe Superman set in the Batman Beyond world, but it is supposed to be the Justice Lord, and and the reason why I bought this is basically for this figure, the Justice Lord figure, because I do hope that they do Justice Lords in it. And look at that face for Superman, guys. Ah, that just screams, I'm gonna kill you. Now, I'm not a big fan of storylines where they make Superman evil. But you know, the Justice Lords, it is pretty cool. I really don't like the capes anymore, these plastic rubbery capes, so I wish that could become cloth capes, but I'm still, it just looks so nice when it's draped here over the shoulder if it's a rubbery cape. I just don't know how to solve that with if you're gonna change it to a cloth cape, because even with the adjustments that I make with the capes, it's just, you know, what can you do? But yeah, this figure, it's just very striking. It's of course a reuse of my favorite book of Superman, so that looks pretty cool. For some reason, the head on this one doesn't seem so low to me. It still looks kind of low, so I'll probably still adjust it. But yeah, with the face, and because of the scale of it, it seems to fit this body better, because this face is much bigger than the usual the usual head that comes with this body. So Yeah, that's it for the Justice Lords 2-pack. And this 2-pack comes with a base, which is, I guess, pretty cool. I never use any of these bases, and look at that. Got the is it stalagmites or stalactites? I can never figure it out. Which one's the ones at the bottom? Stalagmites, probably. From the cave, broken up. You know, that's pretty cool. So I mean, I appreciate what Tad does when he does things right. I just, you know, I've always liked the McFarlane figures until recently, where he started messing around with the prices that I don't understand. So, and finally, these two figures. This is Static Shock and the Green Arrow. So I was not gonna get these guys. Static Shock, kind of like the Midnighter. Is kind of like a character in a universe that I'm not familiar with, that they're merging into the DC universe. But the reason I wasn't planning on getting this was because this is not the Static Shock that I'm familiar with. This is the more recent version of him. But now that I have him in hand, you know, I decided to get him because I got this at Ross for a really good price. If you guys, you should check out your Ross right now just in case, because I got this for $6. And for $6, I'm gonna buy it. Even, you know, even the Green Arrow one, I wasn't gonna get this Green Arrow because this is from a Gamerverse, and I'm not into Gamerverse characters. But I don't have a Green Arrow in my McFarlane collection, so for $6, he'll do. You know, and this Green Arrow comes with look at his backpack or whatever holding arrow that he has. So big. And you, okay, so maybe it's big because he can put in the arrow. I mean the quiver, the bow. And look, even with that, it's still too big. So why would you make it too big like that? It's not even necessary, you know. Looks like a big garbage can in the back. And it's just one big solid piece of arrows. It doesn't have any singular arrows that you can pose him with. I don't like this design because, you know, look at that. What is he, an alien or something? I know this is rubbery, so I'm supposed to look like that, but it just looks so weird. I'm gonna have to mess around with it. I also don't like the fact that, look, he's like looking off to the side. I've never been a big fan of that. Yeah, I mean, other than that, he'll do for Green Arrow in my collection. It's not the costume that throws me off. It's just the fact that he's looking off to the side in this thing, you know. Sheesh. But for $6, what can you do? How can I complain? I mean, this one, I like Static Shock more than I like Green Arrow because even though I'm not familiar with his costume, this thing does look good. I don't know if it's any reuse of anything, but I like it. I like the face over here. Yeah, so he's got representation in my collection. Look at those ankles; they're pretty thin and everything. Comes with two effects over here, and surprisingly, this is like I said, it was a $19.99 figure, but I got it for $6, and it comes with this weird base. I know Static is able to stand on a platform that he electrifies and able to ride on, but is that the reason why he's got this weird base? So, right, I don't really read him, but you know, yeah, pretty cool. Now, okay, so I'm not gonna get the Wonder Woman $29.99 collector edition, whatever justification he might have to put on there, unless it goes on some sort of sale or it gets some sort of discount or anything. But I don't know how you guys do it or how you guys justify your buying. So for $6, what I'll usually do is, like, I don't really think of it I don't think of it in terms of like, oh, I got a good deal on this one for $6. I don't do that. What I usually do is like, okay, since I was able to get this character for $6, if I does it justify my purchase of a $30 figure that I really kind of want, because I really want Wonder Woman in her classic costume, but it's $30. But if combined, these two figures would be $6 and $30, $36 for two figures. That's basically what, $18 each, which would then make it more of an option for me. So, but I do know that Wonder Woman has since sold out for a lot of the venues. So, uh, but I don't regret not buying her. I might not be able to get her again in the future anymore. I just can't support that stupid $30 figure price for a McFarlane figure. I just don't think it's worth it. Even with all the stuff that he's putting in it, a sword, shield, and the axe, and the last one, anything. I'm not, I just can't. $30 is way too much for me. For something like that, 25, because it doesn't have a builder figure. Um, but I just don't think it's worth. McFarlane figures are worth $30 for whatever reason that he feels like doing. Because like, here's a Firestorm, or here's a Wildrider for $20, and it's got two sets of hands and a bunch of fire effects. Granted, it's a reuse. Granted, it's, the whole body is a reuse, but $20, and then you're gonna jump it up for 30 because it's Wonder Woman Classic. Yeah, I just can't support that. But anyway, that's how I. But like I said, if I get the chance to purchase the Amazon Wonder Woman from Amazon, or anything that the Wonder Woman that's $30, because I got this for $6, then in my mind it will justify the $30 ones. But it would have to be something like that where I juggle the prices together. But I can't straight out support a $30 figure for a McFarlane. It's like, who knows? We might be able to see that Wonder Woman in Ross worth $6. How would you guys feel then? Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of rant and tidbit, and what I bought from McFarlane figures. As you can see, I have a whole wave of G.I. Joes I haven't opened yet. I will be reviewing those, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed your turkey dinner. Bye.